What's up, y'all? This is Tiffany, also known as Miss Devoted Tiff, because everything I do it with passion. And I'm here to give my review on tonight's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know, it's been a lot going on in between seasons, so I can already tell it's going to be a lot going down this season, lots of tea to spill. So I had to get in on this review action and give my little 5 cents. So we start out with the taglines. It's one of my favorite parts because I feel like it's just real cute and catchy. I would have to say, out of all the taglines, I like Kenya's. And let me just say, that will be the only time you ever hear me say I like and Kenya in the same sentence. Anyways, I like Kenya's because, for once, she finally admitted that she's only on the show to be the drama queen. Everybody knows she crazy. There ain't no secret. She only on the show to give people a show. And she admitted that in her tagline. So we open up to Candy's little family. Ace is gorgeous. And it was really cute to see them interacting with him together. We got to see Candy's interview look. Shout out. She was giving us a little bit of I Dream of Jeannie tease with the high pony. I'm sure Andy from Bravo will love that. And then Todd come in, old Alky self, comparing mixing the formula to drinks. But I'm not going to get into the Todd bashing. So, you know, we see the little family scene. And then we go over to Kenya and Moore Manor. Still, it's the next season. She still talk about Moore Manor. I knew she was gonna ride this out for a storyline because her only other storyline has ever been whatever man she hires or whatever other housewife she decides to target and insert herself into their business. We see her at the house talking about she is ready to have a housewarming. Clearly, there has been some progress, but clearly the house ain't done. So I don't know why she's acting like, oh, it's housewarming time, girl. She was just really desperate to beat Sheree, let's be honest. Then she's talking about her and Matt not being together. I know, shocker, right? But you hate to hear about it. I'm not sure if it's true in her case because we know that Kenya knows how to lie and she knows how to play the victim. But she's saying, you know, that Todd was being a little bit aggressive and, you know, sound like maybe some domestic violence. If it is true, that really sucks. But I don't know because it's Kenya. But moving on. So Matt's out. He only lasted a season. But I think he lasted longer than Victor did. Then we go over to Sheree. The house looks really, really nice, as it should, because it's been long enough for her to take her time and do it right, but it really looked nice. But I was still kind of surprised that it's been all this time and she's just now getting to the interior decorating part. Like, how long should that take? And I feel like that part should have definitely been done by now. And then, I don't know if y'all caught it, she said that's his closet, so Bob then got back on in there. He done moved his way up to having a room into a Chateau by Sheree. Okay, Bob. So, you know, I like when families be together, so we'll see if that works out. Could be a storyline. This is a show they being paid to have something to talk about, so you just never know. But if it's for real, that's what's up. Oh, and while we're talking about Sheree, let me just put a pin in and talk about Cairo. Okay, puberty did him good. He got me out here wanting to be a Puma, which is a junior cougar because I'm not old enough to be a cougar yet. But he is way younger than me, but I'm just saying Cairo's fine. I got eyes, whatever. So then we go back over to Kenya, trying to pretend she know how to do construction, trying to insert herself and getting into their way. Let's be honest, Matt was the only one working with them, and now she's trying to have to act like she's in charge. But whatever, it's Kenya. So then we go over to freaking Frack. Phaedra looking very Southern Belle with a little Easter Sunday tease at the house. I don't know that grown women wear the yellow ribbon belts anymore, but hey, that's Phaedra. She always gonna do it a little different. And then we see Portia coming in, and Portia looking a little thicker, you know, like, you know, she had a few more sandwiches, but she wears it well. She wears it well. She looks gorgeous. I mean, it's Portia. And so then those two, you know, they having the fun they usually have when they're together. I love seeing them together, talking about getting Phaedra back out in the dating game as if she hasn't been dating already. But hey, if that's what they're gonna say, I'll go along with it. And then she said she don't know how she feel about online dating And one of my non-review blogs, I'll have to tell y'all a little bit more about how I feel about that. But she shouldn't be attacking it. Don't knock it till you try it, girl. Because people get murdered when they meet people in real life, okay? I'm just saying. And then, of course, Phaedra being the queen of shade does not disappoint. It don't take her too long before Portia's in the house for her to start throwing shade. Because a horse and carriage arrives, which I feel like is a bite from Phaedra. She sends the invite, and Phaedra comes in and says, well, I'm just happy she has a house. That's Phaedra for you. And then, of course, Kenya has to be shady even though she's not there through her invitation. No thoughts allowed. But okay. We all know she was trying to throw shade to Portia. And then Portia says, well, I guess I'm not invited. Girl, you act like you are admitting that you are a thought. You should not assume that that's talking about you. But of course, as expected, Phaedra does invite Portia, and Portia does, you know, act like she's not gonna come. But of course, that's already a set up scene, so she'll be there. Then we go to Cynthia, and she always looks fabulous. She's giving me some Diana Ross. She's giving me some Dina in Dreamgirls in her interview look, and I was completely there for it. And she's meeting with a lawyer. I think it's the first time we've seen them meet with a lawyer other than the one that Nene used. You know, she's saying that she wants to go ahead and file for divorce. Of course, that's one of the things that I was saying that we was hearing about in between filming. And so, I mean, that is sad. I love love. I love black love. So, you know, even though a lot of people always from the beginning said that that wasn't going to happen, it's still sad to see. You don't want to see that. And then the lawyer says, you and Peter, like as if she was married to somebody else. Maybe you need to run away from that lawyer if he's having to ask you who you're married to. Anyway, but yeah, if she is not happy, then it is what it is. You know, you got to do what you got to do. So that was unfortunate. So then we go back to Kenya, and we see a little bit farther that the house really isn't ready for no housewarming in 2 weeks. And now she's trying to turn up the pressure on these contractors to make sure it's ready. It probably needed another 6 weeks, and she just wanted to beat out Sheree. And then she says it on the balcony. That's what frustrates me about these girls. They're just really wanting to keep up with the Joneses, because she out on the balcony saying, I don't want Sheree coming over here saying this or that. Why are you trying to get your house together to worry about what Sheree say? If the house ain't ready, it ain't ready. And you doing it just to keep up with the Joneses, and ain't nobody got time for that. Just live your life. But that's Kenya, what can I say? So then we see Portia, and she actually goes to see an anger management person. I wonder if it was mandated by Bravo, or if she actually decided she wanted to go for herself. I have mixed feelings about it, you know, because everybody says she has such a big anger management problem. I honestly don't think that's the case, because if any of the other girls had been getting tried in the different ways and as often as she had been getting tried, then I think they would have been reacting the same way as Portia, if not worse. I mean, if Kenya had did with the bullhorn what she did to any of the other girls, their reaction would have been the same. If any of the other girls had to deal with how Cynthia kicked her, and how Cynthia kicked her, and how that whole thing went down on the cruise ship, if that was Candy, come on. If that was any other girls, they would act the same way. So she gets tried more, and she reacts and defends herself, and then they say, oh, you need anger management. But has Candy got accused of that when she's talking about I will drag you? Has Sheree got accused of that when she was pulling Kim's hair? Did Nene get accused of that when she was getting on people's face? So if all those people aren't considered to have anger management problems, then why is Portia? But it seemed like she got some good advice. That being said, it seemed like she got some really good advice from the doctor, and there's nothing wrong with talking things out and just kind of examining yourself on the inside and outside. So looks like, you know, she did get some information. So hey, more power to her. And the only reason you haven't seen Phaedra get no close, no altercations like that, one, she's the queen of shade. She can cut people with her words. And two, Phaedra not gonna get this bar for none of them ladies, because Phaedra got it in her, trust me, but she don't want to lose that coin from being a lawyer. So then we go back to Sheree at her house with her daughter. Her daughter is so gorgeous. She almost looks like Kim Fields back in the day, actually. And then, you know, Kenya finding another chance as usual to throw shade. She's saying, I would have sent a horse and carriage to Sheree's, but I didn't know where she lived. I don't know if she lived in a house in the woods. Like, really? Come on. Like, you do not have room to talk. But she's just doing what she get paid to do on this show. Moving on from that, we come back to Cynthia at the house. She's looking for the prenup because the lawyer told her to bring it next time. She can't find. She FaceTimes Peter to ask him where it is, and you could tell she reacted a little bit because he said, "I'm here with my new girlfriend." She's like, "Really?" I know she wasn't expecting him to say that, but it turns out he was just saying his new restaurant and his new project was his new girlfriend, but he probably was with an old girlfriend because, hey, we're talking about Peter. You could tell that he's really hurt, but I don't know if it's because he didn't ever expect her to leave. You know, he always expected to kind of be able to be Peter and do his thing, and that, you know, she wouldn't leave. And you can see the hurt in her too, because I think that she thought maybe even marriage would make him a little more faithful, or that marriage would just change him. And, you know, we all know that that is not always how marriage works. So yeah, it was sad, but, you know, that's how it is sometimes. So then we go back to Candy and Todd. They're at the house, and she's just getting prepared to head over to the housewarming. And that skirt she was wearing was really cute. Like, motherhood this time around has really just, I think, been so good for her. She's glowing, she's snatched. I feel like her hairstyles are even better. Like, I'm just really loving how Candy looks this season. Hopefully her attitude doesn't stay as bad as it was last season. Like, I don't like seeing that ugly side of her, but, you know, it could be, you know, again, it's a show, and it could be that now they don't have the storyline of her mom and her mom with getting into it with Todd, and so now, you know, she has to be like a second. So maybe now she just has to make sure she stays in the mix of the drama by, you know, being a little catty, a little more shady. Definitely she don't come off as classy as she used to, but maybe this just a side of her that we never got to see before because she was too busy trying to make sure her mama get along with her new man. So we are back at Kendra's house. Cynthia shows up like the good friend, or should I say good friend that she's still getting to know. She shows up, and she is, you know, one thing about Cynthia, she always gonna be honest. And she is like, this does not look ready. And it didn't. Like, there was still like open, you know, there was still like paint and debris. There was still a lot of stuff that needed to be done, and it was already 5 o'clock. So they go up there, and then she has Kenya. She has Kenya, and Kenya got some flowers, which are from Matt. But I just want to know, why y'all gonna let this girl send these flowers to herself? Y'all know Matt ain't sent her no flowers. Talking about he's sorry. Okay. Then comes all of Kenya's guests, or people that she hired, or, you know, whoever these people were. Then comes Sheree, ready with the shade. Nobody gives a shade like an OG housewife. Soon as she hit the property, she gonna talk about the driveway, how she should have wore tennis shoes, like she wasn't having it. She walking up the stairs acting like, is this safe? Is this secure? Sheree had me dying. It is even more funny because Kenya act like she did all that stuff just to shut Sheree up, but you're not gonna shut her up because anybody can see it's not done yet. Then she gonna say hey to Kendra. Kendra come downstairs just spilling out, which is so funny because she called Portia a thought, or she was like, no thoughts are coming, no girls are here with short skirts. But girl, you was one shimmy from areola. And then Sheree talked about the room was the same size as her master suite. But looking around in Chateau by Sheree, the other scene, she was kind of right. Sheree's house is big, and it's way bigger than Kenya, so it would, in that sense, I guess it makes sense. It would take her longer to get it ready. So then we come back and we see that it's hot, like it's hot. And I'm pretty sure hashtag titty sweat is gonna become a thing now that Sheree is like, everybody in this party got titty sweat. Cynthia had dust on her pants, like the house wasn't ready. And I'm not hating, but don't invite people over saying it's a housewarming and then you say now it's just a soft opening. I don't understand. Portia and Phaedra pull up, and they coming out, you know, looking freakish and frackish. And that's when it comes to an end. But definitely the shade is already rolling. We definitely miss Real Housewives of Atlanta. and I will catch y'all next time. Feel free to comment, give me your feedback. This is my first one. I will take all good and bad criticism. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Devoted Tiff. Catch you next week.